Manufacturing is entering a new era, an era shaped not only by machines, but by intelligence. And a new question facing every industrial leader: how do humans and machines work together? At Manufacturing Digitalization Summit 2026, Workday will be presenting its total workforce strategy to the most senior manufacturing leaders in the country.
Especially for manufacturing, total workforce combines three elements, which is humans, robots and agents. And especially in the manufacturing environment, robots are already well known for ages. And now with the implementation of agents, it also has a massive implication towards the whole working environment and working setup on a shop floor, but also the administration piece. And therefore, the total workforce management associated and combined with the elements of transformation becomes a people business and becomes a people relevant transformation, which is important to have the best results across this whole value chain throughout the whole organization, not only on the shop floor, but also in the administration at the same time. Important is that you have an overcoming and overarching system and solution landscape, which helps you in transforming your new visions and new ideas, especially if it comes to AI agents and coming back to the total workforce management, which consists of human, robots and agents. And therefore, it is important that you have a solution which is based on a profound databases and also on a high security level foundation based, so that you can really process your organization and also your changes, not only based on data resilience, but also in the whole complexity together with other elements and data sources you generate in manufacturing from any kind of equipment. It is the real understanding on users and prospects together to understand how they do transformation, how they implement agentic AI, how they use the new total workforce management moving forward, so that you share the experience amongst each other, get inspired by those who have started already the journey, and also get questions and answers to the topics of what's needed to be implemented in a manufacturing environment.
For decades, factories have relied on robotics, but now AI agents are becoming part of the workforce itself, helping schedule operations, optimize production, and support decision-making in real time. This transformation is no longer just a technology challenge, it's also about people.
The biggest challenge is really twofold. One is the age gap. It is really the situation from the baby boomers coming into the retirement phase and transfer their experience and their knowledge towards the younger generations. In a way, the younger generations will consume and want to consume. And on the other side, it is also the way that we adopt, every one of us have to adopt to the new reality in terms of using agents on a daily basis, using AI on a daily basis for our own job, and move this into our daily life, and therefore also benefit from our daily life experiences in the working environment.
Manufacturers face intense economic pressure, rising costs, supply chain volatility, labour shortages, and pressure to deliver measurable ROI from digital transformation. For many organisations, AI remains experimental, but leaders are now demanding operational impact.
It's really about data. It is the cleanness of the data, and it's the proven aspect that you know where your data are coming from and what you want to accomplish with your data. And that's the foundation for all activities in your production. And it's the foundation for your production floor, but also for your administration element. Because on the end of the day, just coming to the point where you have a payroll. If it comes to an AI process, which is very much deterministic, It is not sufficient to have a 97% proven and correct payroll. That payroll has to be 100%. And therefore it is important that you base your foundation on a proper data set to make sure that you use the right data for the right decisions, because this whole solution should help you then to provide the right solution, but also take the right decisions from that data you can collect and you have available within your organization. And manufacturing is full of data. It's full of data coming from the production floor, coming from any machine you have on your shop floor. And you have it in your HCM system as well, in your finance system. You have it in your operation system. You have it in MES system. You have it all over the place. And those are the data you have to combine, and we will help you with this.
In manufacturing, data exists everywhere. Machines, production systems, finance platforms, human capital systems, and operational technologies. But disconnected systems create fragmented decision-making. The future depends on consolidating these sources into a single source of truth.
AI supports you to get your data right if you have the right data foundation. So therefore you can have you can generate your proper decision-making process. However, one important element, especially in manufacturing, is you always have to have the human in the loop. That's our philosophy, so that the human always is a part of your decision-making process, so that you don't only rely on what's coming out of a data set. And also the decision which is finally being done by our system is then also supervised by you. You can change it afterwards, you can move along, you can move the needle in pulling out more and more out of this process. But we want to make sure that you as a user, that you as an organization still have the full control on the processes thereof. It comes back to the point that you understand and have a vision on what you're trying to accomplish. It is not implementing AI for the sake of AI. You have to make sure that you have a strategy behind, not only a data strategy, but also an AI strategy, and also a vision where what you want to achieve within your organization by supporting your frontline workers, for example, and how you want to engage with your frontline workers, how you want to deal with your frontline workers. Frontline workers shall not become a secondary type of workforce because they don't have desks and or deskless personnel. They have to have access to the same type of system, like learning, like training, like scheduling, like payroll, and so on and so forth, as you would have a desk. Or even talent management is important for those frontline workers, so that they understand where their career journey might go. And this is one of the prime examples we support in that direction.
In aerospace, precision is everything. Every component, every process, every decision. Behind the technology is an even greater challenge: finding the right people with the right skills at exactly the right time. As the aerospace industry accelerates towards a more digital and highly regulated future, companies are rethinking how talent itself is managed. And for one fast-growing Workday customer, that transformation began with a simple realization: spreadsheets were no longer enough.
Probably like lots of people, we used Excel. This was manual, it was often out of date because it wasn't person-led. It depended on a number of people, perhaps just two managers in each function, updating a spreadsheet. It became individualized. We couldn't map out across the whole organisation where skills sat in different departments, so we just didn't have a clear picture, and we couldn't honestly showcase our best selves.
Evolito's transformation started with something foundational: defining what a skill actually means, establishing the difference between a skill and a competency, how should capabilities be validated, and who confirms expertise.
Compliance was certainly at the forefront of driving us to move towards a skills-based approach. In aerospace particularly, we needed to demonstrate that we had got the right people doing the right work and with the right skills, and it enabled us to do this. It enabled us to see across the whole organisation, and in terms of succession planning, in terms of resource planning, that really helped to scale quickly.
The shift towards a skills-based organisation wasn't driven by a single factor. Compliance requirements played a major role, but scaling the business and accessing talent effectively became equally important.
This has been really a big project for us. It helps you really look at your role profiling. So there's no longer just a job description that you just describe the outputs of a role. You really have to think about, well, what skills do you need in order to do that? So it's made us look at things differently. It's made us be a bit more deliberate in terms of describing what's needed for our organisation. It's been a very slow process, I would say. We started with a small test group. We rolled this out into engineering initially, and now we've rolled that out across the organisation into our operations area, where it's been really successful. It's given people the motivation to see what roles they can apply for. You know, it's before there was sort of I wouldn't say lack of aspiration, but lack of visibility in terms of where that person's development can take them. I would say that there's more visibility now across the organisation in terms of motivation. We talk about skills in PDRs, we talk in annual reviews. It gives us more of a in-depth discussion about the individual and not just their work outputs.
Evolito's Workday rollout began with engineering teams before expanding across the wider organisation, and over time the impact became cultural as much as operational.
It's having more of an impact in terms of career conversations. It's also allowing us to have traceability, reliability discussions in terms of we can see whether or not we've got the right people working on the right tasks, and it's giving us a bit more of a view to what gaps are in the business today and what's needed to be able to scale for the future. I would say that 9 months on since we rolled out skills across the organisation, we're seeing more motivation in terms of we offer what's called, I don't know if you're familiar with the term, gigs. They're sort of mini little projects that people go and work on. And people are doing things like that in order to push their skills forward. So there's a big correlation between that and learning as well. So I would say that it's been more motivational for people to see the possibility of where skills take them.